She had camped alone for years. Forests, deserts, mountains, places most people were too afraid to even visit. But that night, for the first time in her life, she didn't feel like she was alone. And the worst part? Something out there was watching her before she even arrived. Elena Vargas wasn't afraid of solitude. In fact, she chased it. The kind of woman who found peace where others found silence too loud, too empty, too dangerous. Her home was her van, custom-built, warm, and filled with everything she needed. A bed, a small kitchen, her camera equipment, and memories of endless roads behind her. She lived for moments most people only dream about, waking up to golden sunlight spilling across untouched land, brewing coffee with nothing but the wind and birds for company. And that lake, she found it just before sunset. And the road to it was barely visible, just a narrow dirt path cutting through dense trees. No signs, no tire tracks, no signals. Perfect. The lake shimmered under the fading orange sky, still as glass, reflecting the silhouettes of towering trees around it. Not a ripple, not a sound. Elena smiled. This is it. She parked her van near the edge, just far enough from the water. Tomorrow morning, she imagined herself standing there, barefoot, coffee in hand, watching the mist rise from the lake. It was exactly the kind of place she lived for. The dinner was simple. A small portable stove, a pan sizzling softly, the smell of garlic and herbs mixing with the cool night air. The forest was quiet, too quiet. Then, crack. A twig snapped somewhere behind her. Elena froze. Her hand instinctively reached for the small flashlight beside her. She listened. Nothing. Just the faint rustling of leaves. Probably an animal, she whispered, more to reassure herself than anything else. She scanned the darkness beyond the trees. Nothing moved. No glowing eyes. No shadows shifting. Just silence again. Eventually, she let it go. After dinner, she set up her usual system. A small external camera mounted outside the van, facing the clearing and the path behind her. It streamed live footage directly to her tablet inside. She always did this. It made her feel safe, like nothing could sneak up on her without her knowing. Inside the van, she checked the feed. The camera showed the empty clearing, the still lake, the trees standing like silent guards. Everything looked normal, too normal. She locked the doors, turned off the lights, and lay down. The soft hum of nature usually lulled her to sleep. But that night, sleep came slowly. An hour later, she woke up. No sound at first, just a feeling. That instinct, the one you can't explain. The one that tells you something is wrong. Then she heard it. Scratch. A slow, dragging sound against the side of the van. Elena held her breath. Scratch. Scratch. Her eyes darted to the tablet. The camera feed was still on, but before she could focus, thud. The van shook violently. Something hit it from the outside, hard. Elena gasped, scrambling upright. Hey! She almost shouted, but stopped herself. Another impact, thud, this time from the back. The van rocked again. Her heart was pounding so loud it drowned everything else. She grabbed the tablet, but suddenly, the van shifted again, stronger, more aggressive, as if something or someone was trying to push it over. That's when fear finally took over. Not curiosity, not logic, just pure survival. Elena rushed to the driver's seat, hands shaking. The scratching grew louder, faster, almost frantic. Scratch, thud, scratch. Go, go, go. The engine roared to life, and the moment the headlights flooded the clearing, everything stopped. No more movement, no more sound. Just stillness. But she didn't wait. She slammed the gas. The van sped through the narrow path, branches scraping the sides as she forced her way back to the main road. She didn't look back. Not once. But when she finally reached the highway, she pulled over. Her hands were still trembling, her breath uneven. What was that? She looked in the rearview mirror. Darkness. Empty road. Nothing followed her. Eventually, exhaustion took over, and she stayed there until morning. And she almost didn't go back. But her cameras, her equipment, her instincts pulled her back to the lake at sunrise, Everything looked the same: the water, the trees, the silence, as if nothing had happened. She retrieved the camera, got back into her van, and played the footage. At first, nothing, just her cooking, moving around. Then, she saw it, far in the background, between the trees, something standing perfectly still, watching her. It didn't move like an animal. It didn't step forward. It just stayed there for hours, unmoving, until night fell. Then, it disappeared from the frame. Moments before, the scratching started. Elena paused the video, zoomed in, her breath caught in her throat, because what she thought was a face didn't look human. And the worst part, the final frame of the footage wasn't empty. The camera had shifted slightly during the impact, and for just 1 second, it captured the side of her van with something right next to it, standing too close, as if it had been there the entire time. She never camped alone again, because now she knows. Some places don't just exist in silence, they wait, and sometimes they watch back.